and we are in week 2. So you click on that, and then you got system of inequalities. We're going to start with our lesson with the near part lesson. So click on it. You can put your first name or your initials. Week 2, that's right. We are on week 2. Yeah, system of inequalities. Okay. So once again, system of inequalities, or let's say system of linear inequalities. We talk about 2 inequalities at the same time. We're going to solve them. By solving, we mean that we're going to have a common shaded area. Like if you recall in the Bellinger questions, when you were shading the solution area, there was only one area that you shaded. But when you have 2 equations, then you will shade a common solution area, and that will become system of linear inequalities. That common shaded area will have points that will satisfy both the inequalities. So we're going to call it as solution area, and then we'll apply this skill to solve different real life problems also later on. Okay. So in the first slide you have the definition. The system of linear inequalities is a set of 2 or more linear inequalities containing 2 or more variables. The solution of a system of linear inequalities are all the ordered pairs that satisfy all the linear inequalities in the system. When we say ordered pair, we talk about XY form. Okay? This explains the process, like how you graph them. Again, it's nothing new that you have not done, like in terms of graphing. You already know how to graph the system. You already know how to graph one inequality. Now there are 2 of them. So on the same grid, you'll have 2 inequalities that you'll graph, and then you'll have a common area. If you look at this example here, you have y less than or equal to x plus 1 and y greater than 2. So once we graph y equal to y less than or equal to x plus 1, you shade it, and then y greater than 2, you shade that also. So it goes up, and then this area becomes the common area. So that's what we call as the solution area of the system of inequalities. So that's what pretty much we're going to do. Like we're going to graph them separately, preferably with a different color or different pattern, so that we can get a common solution area. Okay? So when you click on it, it will take you to desmos.com. Click on it and see, did you go to, I think here you go to the Desmos. When you click on it, it'll take you to the desmos.com. Again, when you go there, click on this, continue without signing in. We don't want you to sign. You can enter your first name, third name, enter your first name, without signing in. Click on continue without signing in. So here you will see that this is kind of introduction of it. Today we are going to explore system of inequalities. Our goal is to examine graphs, identify solutions, and explain how to use these systems in problem context. Okay, that's pretty much the idea is. We're going to learn how to solve them. Again, the common shade area will become the solution. We'll identify the solution, like find some ordered pair from that area, and then explain how to use these systems in problem context. Like if we have a real life situation where we have to apply these systems, we can apply that. Okay? Do you see something there? Click onto that. Yeah. Go to next one. So it says what makes a system of inequalities different from a system of equations. So type in your answers, and then once you're done, click send. Which one? Oh, this one, right? Yeah. This one. So type in here, like what makes a system of inequalities different from a system of equations. What is different between a system of inequalities, or between an inequality, or a equation? They don't have equal sign. Very good. This graph has to do something with it also. Do they have same graph? No. You don't. Yeah, you don't shade in when you do the equation. You just have the line and they meet at a point. That's the solution. But that's right. You don't shade them. So just put there once you're done. Submit. So that'll give you an idea like how you do a constructive response on an EOC. This will give you some idea, like if you have a question and you got parts to answer, this could be one of your parts. Like what do you think is the difference between the system of equations and inequalities? What do you think would be the difference? Remember when we did the equations, we had two lines intersecting, but now we'll have something extra, like graph also. Okay? And nothing is right or wrong answer at this moment. I just need to know your thought process, like, what do you think, what's the difference, It's not that you have to be 100% accurate, but what do you see the difference, okay? Raise your hand if you have any questions about slide 2. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty good. You can go to the next one. If you're done with 2, you click on the next one. Brian, can you read the next one? What is question number 2?
It says, why does this graph have both solid and dotted lines? What does that mean?
So you can see on the graph, you can see there is a solid line and there is a dotted line. So what does solid line indicate? That's the thing.
That the inequality has a line.
The inequality is like less than or greater than and equal to as well, right? So that's one thing you want to include in your answer. And in dotted, there's a strict inequality. So your equal sign will not be there. Also at the same time, you will see that when you're shading the points that are like to the right of this line, in this case, the points on the line are also the solutions. While in this dotted line, the points on the line are not the solutions. Okay? So if you take a point from the dotted line, that will not satisfy the inequality. Okay? So the points in the solid line, they are included in the solution. The points on the dotted line are not included into the solution. You have a goal to earn something like every week. Okay? So these system of inequalities will help you find different alternatives, like how many hours you can work here, how many hours you can work there, so that you can earn that much, at least, per week. So can you read the problem?
It says, suppose you have a job in an ice cream shop that pays $6 per hour. You also have a babysitting job that pays $10 per hour. You want to earn at least $60 per week, but would like to work no more than 12 hours per week.
Per week, okay. So what's the first thing, Tristan, do you have your paper? So what's the first thing we need to do?
Assume X as a number of hours you work at ice cream shop and Y as number of hours for babysitting, and set up a system of inequalities for the situation.
Okay. So what could be the inequality? Do you think we can set up like
6x plus 10y equals 60.
put it on the paper? 6x, very good, plus 10y. Now, you said equal.
Oh yeah, I was just about to.
So we want to have
Greater
say
than or equal to.
very good, very good. Why do you think it's greater than or equal to?
Because she or he wants $60 for the hours that they work for each
And there was a word after that?
per week.
No, before that. Oh, sorry, before $60 at least.
At least.
That means you gotta have $60 or more.
So that's why we put the greater sign.
Greater
or
than sign.
equal to.
Awesome, very good.
Okay.
How about the second inequality that says, like, second one is about what?
Oh, the number 2.
No, there should be two right now.
Two equations. Oh,
Yeah.
two inequalities.
One is for the money, and then second one is how many hours you want to work. Like, what's your limit of working?
Oh, she said they would like to work no more than 12 hours per week.
No more than 12 hours. So what does that mean?
X
So-
plus y is less than or equal to.
Yeah.
Awesome, very good. See, so if you can figure that out, that means you don't want to work more than 12 hours because you're a student also. You have to take care of other stuff also, and at the same time you want to earn at least $60. So now you got a system of inequalities that can help you find different alternatives, because you see that when you have system of inequalities, you got infinite solutions.
Yes, sir.
So you can now see different alternatives where you will have choices to make, like, if I work that many hours at ice cream shop, or that much at babysitting job, I can make $60.
Yes, sir.
In any way. So go ahead and
You want us to do number 2?
graph the system of inequalities, and then you have to find the solution area as well.
Well, to graph it, don't we need to move the equation around?
Yeah, that's right. So you need to have the y on one side by itself
And the x on the
other side. Very good. Now, the only problem you might run into later on is this, because we got 60 there, and if you divide by 10, I think you'll have x equal to 6. So you may not have, but in this case you might have some problem with it because it has 12. So you could do this in your graph. You could say that one box is equal to 2. Make sense? So because if you get bigger numbers, or if it was 60, say if it was 60, you could have gone by like 5, 10, 15, or 10, 20, 30, like that. So that you can.
Oh, you're talking about each
box.
Okay.
All right. So that way your graph can be easily done. Okay. But in this case, I think when you do you're gonna end up dividing by 10, so you're gonna get a 6.
Yes,
So
sir.
you can still graph it, and x plus y 12. I think. Do you have 12 in them or no?
No, sir.
No. So you can go like I think by 2s, or you have to add like one more row.
Okay.
All right. In that way you will be able to graph. Very good. So finish it up, together, and then don't forget to answer the last one where it says find the solution area, and then you have to find 2 solutions. Just choose the point from that solution area. So Clancy, what station are you working on?
9.
9. So what is?
Well,
what do you
I'm gonna do this too. Well, it's basically station 9.
Okay.
With the fifth.
All right. So, but you're writing the discussion board thing. So, So put the subject, like system of inequalities here. Always put the subject also when you're doing the discussion. And you know how to make it bigger?
With the letters?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can select it and then there should be something. Yeah, you can make it big. Very good. Awesome. All right, and once you're done with with your discussion posting, and remember to reply to 2 of your peers. So, like, once you guys, both of you guys have done it, then you can talk to each other through the discussion board, discussing, like, how you graph it. The whole purpose of doing is this. This activity is this, that you understand very well, like, how you graph it. What's the process of checking the solution, whether you're graphing the right side. Sometimes you check the point and then you check if it is false, people shade it on the same side. So you don't want to do that. You want to be clear about it, like you should shade the opposite side. Or if you have to identify, like, from a given set of problems, whether it is a true solution or not, so you know that how to pinpoint the right answer. So that way, it'll be helpful. All right, awesome.
What we was doing was going on Blackboard and created a thread about what a system of inequalities was and how to graph and shade it. And what we said was a system of inequalities is a collection of 2 or more equations. And to graph it, you have to solve for y and graph the inequalities on the same coordinate plane. And the solution is where the shading overlaps, but the areas that don't overlap, you have no solution.
Okay, so if they overlap, that means that area is the solution area for both the inequalities. That's what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So if we have a point in that region, how many solutions do you think system of inequalities would have?
2 or more.
2 or more. So when we say more, that means there could be infinite. Okay, so that's the thing with the inequalities. They have infinite solutions. So the common area, the shaded area, whatever they have, will have infinite solutions. Okay, awesome. Once you're done with your post, is Teresa working on the same thing? Okay, once you're done with that, talk to each other through the discussion and see if you were able to pinpoint all the things. And I think when you wrote the definition, let me see the definition quick. Yeah, instead of equations, put inequalities, because you're working on, like, I know we did equations earlier, but since you said system of inequalities, put inequalities there also.
Alright.
Yeah, because it's 2 or more inequalities. And I know you meant the same, but when we write, sometimes it makes more sense, like, if it is in the same kind of category. Like, if it is inequalities, it has to be inequalities there also. Okay? Awesome. Very good. Yeah, got it.
The system of inequalities in 2 variables consist of at least 2 linear inequalities in the same variables. First, you point your y-intercept on the line, then you start graphing using your x. Then you figure out if it's true or not by using the point 0, 0 or any other point. If it's true, put the shade on the 0, 0 side. If it's false, put the shade on the opposite side.
So in closing, we have our objective was I can solve system of inequalities and apply them to solve problems, real life problems and other graphing problems. So we have done several stations, and you had choice to finish like 6 out of 9 stations. So So we have done enough practice, so that that'll prepare you to solve any problems that you face based on system of inequalities. Okay? So don't forget to fill out the exist lib that you have on Blackboard and give me the reflection whether you got the concept or not. If there are some things that we need to review, we'll do that. But that's our end of this lesson, and I hope everybody was able to get the concept and then apply that to solve the problem.